Alright, YouTube. Here, PT Loser. Got El Cradle O. Man, she's in good shape. Pretty solid, really solid. 60 bucks out the door. Can't beat it. I'm trying to remember. It's been some time since I had to mess with a PT Loser. And if I recall, this side of the engine is supported. Yeah, right up there. So I could undo this. That's just a support bar. I could undo this and this engine ain't gonna drop. But this side, I don't remember. It looks like there's a transmission mount way up there. And I don't see any bolts physically from the cradle to the engine. So I'm thinking I can just drop the cradle out and not have to support this engine with my engine support bar. That's what I'm thinking. See how much that rack's gonna suck. So that's awesome. Good. That makes it a lot easier. Guess I'll get to it, pulling the tires off, popping these bottom ball joints loose, because I'm just going to pull it with the arms on it. It'll make putting onto that one a lot easier. And I won't have to disconnect the sway bar. I can pull it off with it, because I gotta do something about that. I don't even know how it's supposed to attach to that. I'll figure it out. Okay. Well, fuck me right off the bat. It's got them fancy ass lug nuts on there. And there's nothing in the glove box. Nothing in the center console. I got the factory jack shit here in the back. It's got the factory tire iron. But it's for a regular style lug nut. So shit. Luckily, my Ford Explorer has the same style lug nuts due to aftermarket rims. So let me go get that key. Hopefully that bitch fits. Winning. Ford Explorer for the win. Alright. Okay, YouTube. There she is. I got both ball joints out. That's a loose joint. Both of them are loose joints. There's 4 bolts in the rack that come in from the top. Right there is where one of them is. They're not terrible to get to. This cooler's loose. There's 2 10 millimeters that go down from the top. It's not terrible to get to everything. It's just slow going because you can't get a lot of rotation on a wrench or on a ratchet. But hey, now that everything's loose, you can really see the problem there. So I'm ready to drop it. I got all the bolts out except for 2, one on each side, and they're loose. I got that jack in there because I don't want to fall on my head. And I can let it down slowly just in case there's something I forgot. Alright, no surprises. I put the tie rods back on to help hold up the rack. And she's going to come down smoothly. Alright. That's it. God, this thing doesn't weigh anything. The fucking transmission jack doesn't even want to go down at a decent pace. Okay, that's it. Let me show you guys something. Where is it? Alright, let me show you guys something. See that bolt? That's one of the cradle bolts. See how much of that bitch is gone? Eaten away, or... That's why you gotta spray and spray and spray. If you're gonna break one off, you're gonna break off one of these fuckers. Okay? And they were still really, really hard to get out. The Milwaukee wouldn't do it. I had to use the breaker bar on half of them. So they were fucking in there. So thank God I didn't break any. Thank God. I'm gonna take this bitch apart, get these arms off, because these joints are spectacular. They're tight as can be. So I'm gonna reuse the arms on that guy. Pretty much I'm just gonna dress it. I'm gonna swap shit over from this one to that one. I'll bring it back when I'm ready to throw it back in the car. Okay. So here's the subframe. I just thought it would be easiest just to put it in the back of my truck to wrestle with it. Makes a good big workbench. Anyway, arms are off, gay bar's off, end links are off. She's stripped, ready for the scrap bin. That's one last look at her. That's where the arm bolted on. That just came right off. Onto the axle. If you look, you can see right there. You can see that shiny spot where the boot used to sit. So you can actually tell that it's physically pulled out towards the outside of the car. And that boot isn't ripped anywhere. So I'm thinking if I just pop it out, cut that clip, and see if I can put that joint back together before I buy one. That's my plan anyway. Well, it's back together. I cut the factory clip, the band clamp, cut it, slid the boot and the joint, slid back together. I don't know if that's going to work or not. I've never had to do this before. So it's either going to make a lot of fucking noise or it's going to work. I guess I'll throw it back together and see. If I got to change it later, I guess I got to change it. It ain't going to be that hard considering I already had, everything out. So I'll take a chance. Fuck it. Let's put it back together. Subframe is sitting on the jack. Let me bolt that in. Alright, cool. Okay, YouTube. She is back together and on the ground. I don't have the plastic on it yet. It's not fully together. Just in case I got to change an axle and shit, but whatever. Close enough to drive. Now, she's been sitting a while, so hopefully the battery ain't dead. And park. Key on. Oh, she was slow. How do you turn this shit off? Off. Cars never brake with fucking gas in it. That's bullshit. 104,000. Alright. Well, let's go for a cruise. I fully expect this thing to sound like shit. Those rotors had quite a bit of rusty buildup and shit on them. But let's go. Let's give her some beans. Oh, there's a little shimmy in the front end when you get on it. Actually, it shakes like a bitch. This car shakes like a motherfucker. Ooh, what's that about? I wonder if it busted a belt in that tire when she hit that crater that broke that fucking arm. Man, that's what sucks about reusing parts sometimes, like that axle. 'Cause now you question yourself. Man, is that joint really fucked up? Is that axle making this thing shake, or is it a tire? Or what the fuck is it? I think what I could do is it's definitely in the front here, because it's in the steering wheel and you could just feel it in the car. I think what I could do is take the tire off the front, put it in the back. If the vibration goes to the back, it's a tire. If it stays up front, man, I think it's that axle. I checked everything over. The wheel bearings in this thing are tight. Everything's tight. So, I mean, that's the only thing I think it could be. Well, YouTube, that wasn't it. I'm pulling the axle out. In fact, it's already most of the way out. And looky there, that silver shit. Anti-seize for the win. This thing just fucking fell apart. That's good, man. Somebody took care of this car, or took the time and the care to do shit like that. Just thought I'd point that out. Use your anti-seize, people. And alright, I'll bring it back when she's ready to roll. Alrighty, peoples, axle's in. Let's motor. Axle's in, plastic's back on it, all the bullshit. It's all buttoned up underneath. And I put transmission fluid in it. I forgot to do that the first time I drove it. Shame on me. We are, I don't know, 50. Man, not a shake. Steering wheel's nice and, well, straight enough. Man, this thing drives nice now. That's all that was. Yeah, that's all it was. My fault for cutting corners and trying to save money and not putting an axle in it right off the bat. Cool. No weird suspension sounds. I like it. I am happy. Well, this is where I'm going to call it. I still got to make it look pretty. The center caps that look like shit, I'm just going to paint them silver. Do my usual used car salesman shit. Polish the headlights, because one of them's faded, which is weird that only one of them's faded. And what else do we got to do? Oh, the rust on the body. Yeah, the rust on the body. There's some spots where it's like on the bumper and shit, it's just streaks. It looks like shit. Well, the bumpers can't rust, they're plastic. So I clean all that shit up, makes the body look a lot more presentable. I gotta do all that shit. So yeah, let's go do that. Or I'm gonna go do that. This is the last you'll see of this car. You don't need to see me do all that shit. Alright. This one was an easy one. This is a good little car, man. She drives nice. Not a lot of miles. I should do alright. Alright. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Peace. I'm sorry, YouTube. I had to bring you back. Show you how well she cleaned up. She's looking good. Got a lot. There's still rust in that corner, but I got the stains off the paint. Headlights looking good. The stains are off that back corner there. Right there. Man, she cleaned up nice. As good as a fucking PT loser can look, I guess. Alright, now I'm gone. Peace.